Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Tonight, we're diving into the 5th episode of A God Among Men. And it's a story that's, well, it's about a dad, his daughter, and a secret that's been brewing for 500 years. So it all kicks off with this really mysterious question from a father to his daughter. But, to really get what's happening in this moment, we've got to rewind the clock a few hours to something that seems totally unrelated. Okay, so our story actually starts with a pretty simple real-world problem. Cameron needs cash, fast. And what does he have? A brand new luxury sports car he just got as a gift. His solution? Sell it, like right now. So he gets the paperwork from his buddy's assistant, Connie, snaps a few pictures, and slaps it on a secondhand website. But here's the kicker. The price? He lists it for a crazy 50% of what it's actually worth. Half price. You can probably guess what happens next. That post blows up at the website's main office. An employee, Tommy, sees it right as he's about to head home for the night, and he runs it to his manager, George. George is just stunned, but he's also a smart guy, and he immediately sees a golden opportunity. And George's reaction is, wow, just ruthlessly efficient. First thing he does, he tells Tommy to hide the post so nobody else can see this insane deal. Then he gets Cameron's number, calls him up, and arranges to buy the car for himself. Classic. Of course, he promises Tommy a nice little finder's fee for the tip. All right, so fast forward to later that night. The car deal is set for the morning. Cameron's carrying a very sleepy Emily back to their hotel room. He's about to tuck her in, but then she makes a simple request. Now, Cameron has apparently never told a bedtime story in his entire life. But he tries his best, right? He goes through all the classics, Snow White, Little Red Riding Hood, you name it. But Emily, who's got this new spark of confidence he just taught her, is just not having it. She shoots down every single one. So at this point, he's totally stumped. He's gone through dozens of stories he knows, and she's just like, nope, don't want it. He's about to give up. And then an idea hits him. He leans in close and says he'll tell her a story she has definitely never heard before. And this right here is where the legend of Cameron the Immortal begins. And get this, it's not some fairy tale about a faraway kingdom. It starts right here on Earth, with a man so miserable, so at the end of his rope, that he takes one final desperate leap off a cliff. But here's the twist. He doesn't die. Instead, he gets zapped into this unbelievably vast new reality. He explains to Emily that this place, the divine world, is just on a scale you can't even imagine. We're talking about a single river being bigger than our entire planet. So over the next 500 years, this man went from a lost soul to a legendary figure. Turns out he was born with this innate magical ability to just sense treasure. He spent centuries honing this gift, becoming unbelievably wealthy, but also profoundly lonely, because his single-minded pursuit left little room for friends. And all that wealth, plus his habit of being almost recklessly generous, earned him a bunch of epic nicknames. People called him the Moneymaker, the Wealthy One, and the Treasure Magnet. Basically, if there was a great treasure anywhere, you could bet he'd be there to claim it. He tells her the whole epic saga, his rise to power, this one massive battle he fought, and how it all ended in his defeat and rebirth. He finishes his incredible story, takes a breath, and then he turns and realizes his little audience has been fast asleep for who knows how long. So, back in the real world, in the quiet of the hotel room with Emily sleeping, Cameron's mind shifts. He's done thinking about his crazy celestial past. Now he's got to figure out his very real, very complicated future right here on Earth. He's basically got two big goals now. One, he needs to find a good spot to plant these divine spirit seeds he has. But way more important than that, he needs to find a good place to raise Emily. And he lands on San Diego. It just makes sense for a few reasons. The climate is great for Emily year-round. It gets him out of LA, away from the influence of his family, the Lees. And, this is a big one, it's where Emily's mom, Jessica, is about to start a new job. Okay, so the destination is locked in, San Diego. Cameron pulls out his phone to book a couple of bus tickets for the next evening. Simple enough, right? Well, not so simple. And this is the great irony of his new life, isn't it? The guy who was just telling a story about being a treasure magnet with more money than he could count can't even afford 2 bus tickets. Every single one of his cards is declined, maxed out, or empty. So he's pretty much given up.
He figures he'll have to wait until he sells the car tomorrow. But just then, his phone buzzes. He looks down, and there's a notification. $1,000 just hit his account.
Turns out, the money is from his sister, Zoe. He books the tickets right away and gives her a call. The conversation is short. She's kind of cold, but you can tell there's a whole complicated history there, and this deep bond that they don't even talk about.
And that brings us right back to the beginning, to the heart of this whole thing. That bedtime story, it wasn't just some fairy tale he pulled out of thin air. It was a confession. It was the actual, true history of a father carrying the weight of 500 years on his shoulders, telling it all to a daughter who's too young to grasp the impossible truth, that the legend of the Immortal is his story. If you like this story, please like and share it, and subscribe to the channel to watch future episodes. Thanks for watching.